And back here at Atlantic Station, live in Atlanta, Georgia, getting you ready for Georgia Tech and Clemson tomorrow night. Sports Night out of the studio. It's nice to breathe in the fresh air. Thanks to Wayne Hogan, Associate Athletic Director at Georgia Tech. You guys have quite a partnership going here between the two parties, and thank you for inviting us.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. It's nice to have you guys here. This is going to be a really good thing. We knew when we started it this year that it was going to be something that was going to build over time. This is something we've been looking at for a while. We need a place where Georgia Tech fans can gather on Friday nights and, frankly, during game weekends. And we've really never had that central location. And the folks at Atlantic Station have been fantastic. We've really got a lot of good things going. Too bad we got a little rain in the forecast tonight for this homecoming night. But you'll see a little bit later in the evening, this place gets going pretty good.
And the rain is probably going to pass. At least that's what the weather forecast says. But on top of Georgia Tech being literally right down the street, a couple of blocks away, a lot of Tech people congregate around here on Fridays and Saturdays anyway. So it's really a natural fit.
No, it makes a lot of sense for us. There's a lot of synergy between the two organizations. I mean, there's a lot more behind the scenes going on between Atlantic Station and Georgia Tech, from everything from housing that's all over this area. As you know, a lot of our students, faculty, staff live in this area. The retail shops are great for our students. They come over here all the time to do their grocery shopping and do their kind of retail shopping. And then there's more than that. There's a lot of space here that Georgia Tech can take advantage of in the coming years. And I know there's a lot of discussions at that level as to how we can utilize this property for academic space and for other opportunities that present themselves. You know, Georgia Tech is a little bit landlocked where we are, so anytime we can get a cooperative effort like this, it's valuable to us.
You mentioned homecoming. It's not often that when you plan this, here comes the number 5 team in the country coming into your building on homecoming. The good news is a lot of people wanted to be here for this weekend. The not so good news is you got the number 5 team coming in. It's risk versus reward on a day like this tomorrow night.
Yeah, you know, in the old days, you used to go out and schedule the Little Sisters of the Poor for homecoming.
Directional
right?
School U.
Who made this call? I'm not sure, but it's going to be exciting anyway. I think the alums just love coming back for a game that matters. So this is the best of all worlds for our folks that are coming back into town.
Well, you take it a step further, Wayne, because you think about it. It's Clemson, it's homecoming, and it's a night game. We've talked about it many times over on this show already, but there really is something special about a night game at Georgia Tech.
Well, it is, Nick, and you know we've been criticized a bit, and when you look around, the crowds are down all over college football. You don't see a lot of stadiums that are filled up to capacity right now. The economy's hurt a lot of people. We've had empty seats, but guess what? We've had 3 games at home that started at 12 noon. Those are killers. And obviously the schools have nothing to say about that. It's all a television decision. So now we've gotten into our good part of the schedule where we've got some night games. We have this one. We have our Thursday night game with Virginia Tech. I'm sure the Georgia game will likely be later in the afternoon or perhaps in the evening. So you'll see it's a different story at 8 o'clock at night, as you guys know, than it is at 12 noon.
You also get what I believe to be a 3.5-hour commercial. When you have this game, whether it's a Thursday night where you're really the only game in town or a Saturday night, you get a chance to build up brand. And when you beat a number 5 team in the country, send them on their way, not only is the homecoming crowd that goes home happy, but I think people actually start to say, oh, look, that's a place that might be a little bit more interesting than I originally thought.
Well, and Chris, the scenery is just spectacular. A night game in downtown Atlanta with that kind of skyline shot and full stadium and Bobby Dodd at its finest, and the fans from both teams involved and all that. Anybody in the business will tell you that it's great television. Night games at Bobby Dodd Stadium is great television. They try to come here every year. This year we're going to have 2 in a row. We've got this one, then we've got the ESPN Thursday night game. So there's no better advertisement.
Right, exactly you might get the bonus of a shootout as well. I mean, you really might get the shootout. The visual part of the game might actually be aesthetically pleasing to a lot of football fans in the country.
I agree totally. When you're talking about all 3 teams, when you're thinking about Clemson, you're thinking about Virginia Tech that's coming in, high potent offenses that can put up some points. You think about Beamer's special teams and how they're electrifying and they put up a lot of points. And that's what you want to see. People want to see touchdowns. People want to see the refs do their hands like that. And the option to see that the next 2 weeks here in Atlanta are very, very high.
The history of our night games over the last several years, and I know this is my 6th season at Georgia Tech, has been pretty good in that regard. There's been a lot of great games played in that stadium with the lights on. So
I think back to the mid-'90s when SI's #1 Arizona, the Wildcats came in. That game went down on a Thursday night, and it was an incredible game. I think about when Maryland with Marinovich was high on the board. They came in here on a night game. So a lot of electric football gets played here at Bobby Dodd on night games.
Let me ask ask you this. Maybe it's not a conscious decision, but subconsciously, you think coaches play the risk and reward game themselves a little bit more? You got a shootout. You got things at stake. The fourth down plays, the fakes. Do I go for it? Do I not? I think there's also something where the coaches kind of get caught up in the atmosphere of this as well.
I think that's every Saturday for our coach.
Very true.
Seen that. Seen his work.
Well, Wayne Hogan, again, we appreciate the invitation down here. Hopefully we'll be back, and hopefully next week we'll be talking about a Tech victory.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Have fun tonight.
Thanks, Wayne.
We'll do. We'll have the time of our lives. We always do, no matter where we go. Sports Night, the show on the road. We continue, and we talk about some possible upsets tomorrow around college football. Stay with us.